Right, before we get into this and you go all, actually, in the comment section, some caveats do apply here. Ronda Rousey's miraculous rookie year was both in kayfabe and reality one of the greatest in WWE history, but she only worked 31 matches during that time. Lazy. Sorry, love, doesn't count. Enjoy your impregnation vacation. Only wrestlers with 100 matches or more qualify for this particular ranking, so apologies to Ludwig Borger, Tom Zenk, and El Torito. Stick around though, because at the end I'm going to be giving you the current top 10 roster members with the best win percentage, and yeah, you won't believe some of the names. So, with honourable mentions to Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Finn Balor, who just miss out on less than a percentage point, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and these are the top 10 wrestlers with the best win percentage in WWE history. Number 10, Bam Bam Bigelow, 76.4%. The Beast from the East walked into a major push when he debuted as a babyface in 1987 and was kept relatively strong as a heel following his 1992 return too. Bigelow regularly won his feuds until they reached a level of importance, and then, a bit like me in the WhatCulture office pool tournament, he'd fall short. His promised post-WrestleMania 11 push was ultimately sabotaged by those in the company who, let's just say, didn't care for his work. Number 9, John Cena, 77.1%. No prizes for guessing that Big Match John cracks the top 10, kids, but that statistic is even more impressive when viewed alongside the mammoth number of encounters that he's had. Cena's worked 1,330 bloody times since his famous debut against Kurt Angle, averaging out around 78 matches a year. You, sir, winning over 1,000 matches, have earned that wonderful hairdo. His work rate was always debatable, but his physical efforts during his peak years were inarguable. And expect that number to go up, by the way, now he has the dreaded lightning fist in his arsenal. Number 8, Hulk Hogan, 77.3%. The Hulkster dropped the big leg on almost everybody he faced during arguably the most important top-line run in industry history. But he ranks surprisingly low in this all-timers list, mostly thanks to the bookending periods of his WWE career. Brother. Hulkamania ran wild in the 1980s, but champion Hogan was often required to lose by DQ or countout on house shows in order to facilitate a high-drawing return for the top prize the next time WWE returned to town. Following an unlikely February 2002 comeback, Hogan famously put over Brock Lesnar, The Rock, Scotty 2 Hotty, and Kurt Angle. Alright, one of those names might not be true, during an uncharacteristically selfless attempt to rehabilitate his reputation in WWE. It briefly worked too. That was until he wasn't granted his Lesnar win back at November's Survivor Series. Ooh. Hogan and Vince clashed on the booking, with all of Hogan's future returns following his older, victorious form. Number 7, Fred Ottman, 77.3%. Creeping in just above his partner, Fred Tugboat Typhoon Ottman's numbers were hugely enhanced by the men he spent most of his time with during a 1990 to 1993 full-time run. As the sailor chum of Hulk Hogan, Tugboat joined the Hulkster for a host of tag team victories against various heels throughout 1990. His 1991 rebadging as Typhoon saw him form the dominant heel tag team The Natural Disasters alongside Earthquake. A natural big man during a period in which the company were forced to dispatch with artificial ones, Ottman was a beneficiary of having the right body at the right time, even if he wasn't the most talented man ever to run the ropes. Although, don't tell him I said that. Number 6, Bushwhacker Luke, 77.5%. Yep, a Bushwhacker has a better win percentage than Hulk Hogan. It's like finding out Colin Delaney can bench more than Mark Henry, isn't it? Luke Miller's win percentage is a bewilderingly good number, particularly considering how, with only one match fewer on his record, partner Butch failed to make the list at all. Perennial losers with the cameras on, the Bushwhackers loaded up on victories on WWE's bruising house show circuit as token boy poppers and/or opening match crowd pleasers. It is with some irony that Luke's most famous pay-per-view appearance features his most embarrassing defeat. The New Zealander lasted just 4 seconds, and yeah, we've all been there, lads, in the 1991 Royal Rumble after Earthquake chucked him out of the match as soon as he got into it. As was always the case with both members of the team though, he was Teflon to the comedy spot's potential burial. Number 5. Axe, 78.6%. A stalwart of demolition when demolition was still, well, demolition, Axe's win record speaks to just how dominant a partnership he had with Smash during the late 80s. Far more than just a Road Warriors knockoff, Vince McMahon's painted up powerhouses could really work and earned his appreciation and trust at the top of a doubles division he didn't really care that much about anyway. Thankfully though, nowadays, it took all the way up until 2016 for the New Day to break their historic 478-day run with the WWE Tag Team titles. Good work, lads. Number 4. Neville, 78.9%. Bolstered by a run he ultimately didn't really want, the Jumpin' Geordies, oh, why did I do the accent? Neville's numbers are bolstered by a total domination of a near-death cruiserweight division that he ruled over for most of 2017. Neville generally went 50-50 with most opponents as a bland babyface, but his heel stint as the maniacal king of the cruiserweights positioned him light years above virtually everybody else in the beleaguered league. He was the proverbial tree falling in the woods. He was doing great stuff, it's just that no one really cared about the show he was on. He racked up win after win after win on 205 Live, but they were mostly confined to either kickoff specials or the Tuesday night show, which couldn't even keep network subscribers on their sofas, let alone arena fans in their seats. Neville left ultimately not because of his win-loss ratio, but frustration with the blatant creative disinterest in a movement he worked hard to elevate. What a bastard. Number 3. Bad News Brown, 82.1%. A proto-Stone Cold Steve Austin in an era before the industry was quite ready for a gimmick, Bad News Brown protected his brilliant badass aura by simply rarely suffering losses no matter who he faced. You? Ha! No chance, lads. A regular pay-per-view victor in the early days of the medium, Brown kept it simple. Stupid. Dodging defeats against the likes of Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, Brown didn't have to worry about doing jobs for those underneath the 2 biggest box office stars on the card. A loathed heel that generated guilty laughter from lads and dads with his fast-talking patter, Brown's entire gimmick could have gone up in smoke with one too many losses. And he knew it. Battering jobbers with ease on Superstars or Wrestling Challenge tapings, Bad News generally did well on the house show circuit too, thanks to his ability to pull the reason for a fight out of his arse rather than constantly requiring babyfaces to bounce a program off of. Number 2. Lex Luger, 83.3%. Lex Luger worked 2 gimmicks that required him to stack wins on top of wins on top of wins when he started working full-time wrestling for WWE in 1993. His impressive 83.3% hit rate would have been even greater had Vince McMahon's faith in him not entirely collapsed after the Made in the USA push fell to bits. R.I.P. in peace, Lex Express. As the narcissist, Luger knocked out countless jobbers with his, well, let's be honest, illegal forearm and continued his form after infamously turning babyface on July 4th. America. Unfortunately, Luger's lengthy list of wins amounted to diddly squat after his WrestleMania 10 loss to Yokozuna, but we'll always have WCW, eh, Lex? Number 1. Ultimate Warrior, 89.7%. Of bloody course. Ultimate Warrior's record speaks to how vital wins were in protecting his aura. Countless wrestlers have since come to understand the importance of big wins overcoming their limitations. But Warrior was one of the first to truly benefit from this type of push on such a grand scale. Recycling a territorial method on a national scale, Warrior's run required him to seek and destroy all in his path. Losses would have been unconscionable under almost every circumstance, and it was made to count double when he did do the job. Rick Rude and Sergeant Slaughter both scored pay-per-view pinfalls over him for the Intercontinental and WWE title respectively, but almost all of his big matches resulted in defeat for his unfortunate foe. He fiercely protected his gimmick up to and including his 1996 return. Warrior's squash win over Hunter Hearst Helmsley, wonder what he's up to nowadays, at WrestleMania 12 was about all he was willing to offer to younger talent. Keeping his aura alive remained paramount priority. And yeah, quite a few from the current roster could do with learning that. So there you have it, the Ultimate Warrior has the best win percentage in WWE history. But who are the top 10 on the current roster? Hit the music. Number 10, have you seen this man? It's Shinsuke Nakamura. He might bust himself open with every entrance that he does, but Goldberg is number 9. Number 8, Brock Lesnar. Obviously. Number 7, no, this isn't a typo. Mojo Rawley has a better win percentage than Brock bloody Lesnar. Like father, like son, Jason Jordan's at 6. Number 5, Razor. Remember him? At 4, hugging hell, it's Bayley. Breaking into the top 3, no wonder he's smiling all the sodding time. It's Finn Balor. At 2, just missing out on this week's top spot, Vince doesn't understand her, it's Asuka. And number 1 on this week's chart, yeah, no prizes for guessing, it's Ronda Rousey. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out some more of our recent videos here. And check out our wrestling podcast by searching for What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.